Alright, so there's going to be a guide on how to do the Sunday Nova Crest Palace. So this is probably the hardest Crest Palace, the Shrine of Sagacity. Only reason you should ever do it is to get 5 pluses, or maybe to get these Flux Drops, Crystals, Alk. So if you go to the Hall of Fame, most teams, like this is where you can look at most teams, the best teams, all that. So I have a good team that can clear in like 3 minutes, but I'm going to use this one. So we got Albedo as our tank. DL Rim is our DPS because the final fight is he doesn't take that much damage from anybody except or he doesn't take that much damage from humans. So Shadow and Pencilgon won't do that much damage. And then we're bringing in Pencilgon and well we're bringing in Pencilgon because she's a breaker and you need to break him. And Shadow for Archgen because he has a passive Archgen. Right here. Eminence and Shadow for dark units. So we need a tank. You need a DPS that isn't a human. So like a demon. So okay, so for the tanks, you're gonna want like Kirasame. He's really good for this. And then Shiro's pretty good. I think Kirasame is the best because the stage 3 has so much paralysis res and paralysis that a taunt tank is just better because then only one unit will get paralyzed if they even do because his true equip has flinch res. So you're gonna need Gamagori might work. Shiro definitely works. I've seen plenty of people do it. Shiro. Albedo works. Albedo's really good for it too because of her passive, the well, like White Devil of Mercy. Yeah, all allies recover by 50%. That's like insane for the final boss. Gamagori is pretty good because he's supposed to be low health, and then you just hide him behind a 35k shield and a couple defense equips. And even if he does end up dying, he has the survives with 1 HP. So for 5 seconds, he's just completely immune to all damage, which is kind of insane. Like he'll just revive himself. So those are all good options for the tank, and then we're gonna go to the damage dealer. I guess should probably show all of them instead of just my locker. So here for damage dealers, I mean you could maybe get away with Berwick. He does heal a little bit too. That'll be helpful. Um, I haven't tried her, but Combat 4 Millim might be good in this because you have to break, and she's a demon for the damage. Because her true art is break focused. Mm, Aristella Orbis would probably be good for this because she could break it, and she's in Archdener. Yeah, she's got pretty good break. And then HK Roy is probably like the best unit in the game, and he's like the best to use on every single piece of content. He also has break power up for water allies. So if you run a mono water team, you could probably get this done pretty quick. You're just gonna need someone like Long to do the damage for you because humans don't damage the final boss that much. Unless you bring like Beta in. Beta would be really good for this too because she can deal damage to the final boss, magic damage, and then also she has Archgen with DR. Mm, Shiro's really good for damage dealing. I mean, you could use SGL since she's a god. It'll speed up your equips and everything. But then like demons, they just hit harder. You know, like DL Rim is probably the best for this. You might be able to get away with Vox. I don't know if you're just gonna run a mono demon comp. Cause yeah, his super art's insane for demons. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the um, attacker. And then two Archgeners. I'd say you would need Pencilgon or Chloe to do this, or Aristella. You just need a breaker for it, otherwise it's gonna take forever. I mean, you don't. you could probably get it done in like 10 minutes if you didn't have a breaker, but there's no point. So, Pencil Gun, really good. I think she edges it out on Chloe just because she is a type F Archgener, and then you can use other Archgeners with her. So, cause like usually I want to use Hoka, but Hoka and Chloe don't stack Archgen, so it's really unfortunate. And then Shadow, his Archgen, specifically he's an Archgener for dark teams, and he's just, in my opinion, the best dark unit by far. And then you just have to have Archgeners here, so like Hoka could go here, Sunraku could probably go here, Chloe could go here if you wanted to do even more break. Islid, literally any Archgener. Another big thing is the paralysis on the stage 3 boss though. So Shadow has like his art, which has flinch res for the whole team for 20 seconds. So I'm going to use that to make sure none of them get paralyzed. So these three units, Albedo, DL Rim, and Shadow all have 100% paralysis res passively, so they shouldn't get paralyzed at all. But Pentagon might get paralyzed once or twice, but that's not that big of a deal. So that's probably it for the team comp. Like, this is my fastest team comp for this, because Shiro's just such an insane tank. Hoka's probably the best support unit in the game. DL Rim is one of the best damage dealers. Pensagon is the best breaker. So this team right here is pretty good for this. But this is the one I'm going to be running just to show you don't need the best team. Alright, so make sure you have your cheese. Oh yeah, quips, I guess. So because I'm doing mono dark, I'm just using the dark relic. So this right here, dark relic. Growl is a dark relic. Brute is a dark relic. Abyssal Sands is a dark relic. So all five of those, if you have all five of those on your team and you're doing mono dark, it'll just make your dark units hit harder, take less damage, heal more. You can read all the passives if you get them. It just makes there's relics for every single element, and they all just make the elements so much better if you're running mono teams. So in most situations, it's worth it, but sometimes you just can't get a team comp that has the equip slots for these relics. But right now I do, because DL Rim has three of them. And then for your defense equip, you want light damage down, anything like that. That's really it. Maybe paralysis res if you need it. You might want to throw a couple keratoses onto the 4-star heal, or yeah, the 4-star heal that gets rid of status ailments just to recover from a paralysis. That is what's going to slow you down the most, is getting paralyzed by the stage 3 boss. But you could do Urza's armor, two-faced helmet, Bazette's apron. Um, there's a bunch of different ones you can run. Just look for light damage taken down, or just straight up damage taken down will work too. But if you can, try to make it so you can find one that lasts for longer. So this one only lasts for 15 seconds, so it's not that good for this specifically, because the final boss is going to have a huge nuke that lasts a long time. It's literally called Endless. So you want to make sure you have enough defense that stays up long enough for that specifically. And then for magic and physicals, just run whatever you need. True Knight's Glow is good on Pencilgon because it's 8,000 break, and she's a breaker, just breaks it faster. I got Abyssal Sands because it's insane for dark units. But you could probably, if you have a 4-star heal, run Keratos or Blessed Necklace, so then you can survive the nuke no matter what. And that's pretty much it for equips. Alright, so we're gonna run it. So the first two stages are just ads. I think the king has like evasion or something, because sometimes it's really hard to hit him. So just, that's why Shadow comes in clutch and just makes everything faster here. Because he's just going to kill it right away because he has the evasion down. Just dies right away. We're going to do this. We're going to get Shadow's art for the flinch res so Pentagon doesn't get paralyzed on the next stage. Just clear the ads right away. I was hoping that would have killed him, but it didn't, so whatever. Shadows, just get rid of him real quick. Now we're going to just spam True Arts with DL Rim. We're going to get the Dark Res from Pentagon's True Art. And then we're going to keep, just make sure your shield is up. And then every time he does this, be careful, because he just goes damage immune for a long time. So don't be wasting Arch Gen for no reason. Like, he's still damage immune. Okay, now he's not. But you will, like, if you just spam your arts during that, it'll just suck. We're gonna get a Shadow art as soon as we can so we don't get paralyzed anymore. We're gonna use this. Hope I didn't use it too early. I definitely did. That's okay though. We're just gonna use a super art. It'll get rid of the threshold. Hopefully. And then we're gonna use the art again. Make sure the paralysis res is up. So if you didn't know, flinch res means freeze and paralysis res. So if right here on his art where it says increases or all allies will not flinch for 20 seconds, that means they get 100% paralysis and 100% freeze resistance. And then right here we're just gonna keep doing what we've been doing. True art, true art, true art, true art. Just keep your shield up, keep your arch gen going, keep your damage, your debuffs, all of it. Keep it going. That's going to take away our shield. We just pop it right again. And then we're going to want to use Pentagon's art to get the break prematurely. And then we're going to use this and this. And then we're going to use our defense and our heal equip because this should take it past the threshold. Okay, this will definitely take it past the threshold though. So we have Abyssal Sands, which is going to heal us a ton, and Arias' Sunny Aloha, which will give us a little bit of DR for 15 seconds. And even if the shield runs out, Albedo's passive, the White Devil thing, whatever I said earlier, 50% heal, 300 arts gauge up, that'll just save us, so it doesn't even matter. This one would be the one that kills you. The final one isn't that strong. And now you have to break the boss, so just get your debuff stacking, all of it, and then get ready to break. Just make sure you have your shields up, save your defense equipped for the final nuke. It shouldn't kill you, but just in case. Like if you get this far, this part's pretty easy. You just need to make sure you have a breaker, otherwise it's going to take forever. Just make sure you don't die on the dark rays. I'm going to use an Abyssal Sands before I use Pentagon's True Art, just so she gets it because it's health dependent. Okay, Now we're gonna save up for a shadow super art, and then we're gonna, yeah, we're just gonna use a super art right there. Gonna use that. Okay, now we just gotta not die. Pretty much it. This one, it just, it doesn't do nearly as much damage as the half health one. We should be completely fine, especially because we popped that super art. It doesn't last as long, and then you can just pop all that stuff right away. Should just be dead. As soon as it's over, yep, gone. This fight isn't as hard as the other Nova, but it is a lot more dependent upon your units. Like the other one you can clear with a lot of different people. This one you need a breaker. The other one you don't need a breaker. This one, the final boss, you just can't deal damage to unless you break it. After that half threshold. So there's the damage taken, recovery, Abyssal Sands is busted, break, Pencil Gun's the best breaker in the game. And the only reason you should ever do this is to get fives, or 5 pluses. And that's it. See ya.